Good day, good people. How are you doing? My name is Michael Ojola for Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift, I want to talk about the stories we tell ourselves. How to change your life by changing the stories you tell yourself. But before that, I want to say this. Who you are today is a result of stories you tell yourself about the past. Who you are today is a result of stories you tell yourself about the past. So, I want you to listen to that again and understand what I'm saying. There are things that have happened to us in the past. And one thing I want you also to know is whatever you think you know about your past is untrue. That is shocking, right? But that is the truth. And I'm serious about it. Whatever you think you know about your past is not true. You are not that smart. You don't have that photographic memory to remember the details of what happened to you in your past. The best you can remember are sketches. Most of the personal narrative that you tell about yourself, about your past, are not true. All right? They are not true. Why did I say that? Because our brain is being bombarded by too much information every day that it is nearly, if not impossible, for you to remember exact details of what happened to you. You can only remember sketches. You cannot remember exact details of all that happened to you. You might be able to remember some, maybe because you saw pictures, but you cannot remember the details of what happened to you in your childhood. The reason why that particular information, that particular declaration is important is especially for people that hold on to hurt, hold on to stories that they heard about their father, stories that they heard about their mother, stories that their parents told them about their relatives, stories that they think they know and experience about their brother, their sister, their friends. 85 to 95% of those stories are made up by your brain to confirm your bias. 85 to 95% of those stories are not true. They are true to you because you believe them to be. Now, this is my point. If those stories are not true, not because you're lying, all right, but because you can't just remember details, don't you think that believing in those stories are really affecting your present moment? And that is exactly what I'm saying, that who you are today is a result of the stories you tell yourself about your past. So what have you been telling yourself about your past? Your dad walked out on your mom. That is the situation, right? Do you know exactly what happened? You don't. That is the truth. You don't know exactly what happened. You heard from your father. You heard from your mother. You don't know exactly what happened. You will do yourself a good thing not to hold on to things that you think is hurting you, not to blame people for your present circumstance based on the stories you told yourself about them. Woo! That is powerful. You will do yourself a great service by releasing those stories to the past where they belong. Because 85 to 95%, they are not as you remember them to be. The circumstances that surrounded your father leaving your mother or your mother walking out on the family is not true. You don't know it. That if your parents are still alive, do this exercise. If your parents both are still alive, swallow your pride. Walk up to them that they should recount the story to you. You will start discovering holes. You will see that they told you, you will see that what they told you about yourself is not what you remember they told you about yourself. Let me say that again. You will see that what they told you about yourself, all right, is not what you remember that they told you about yourself. What they told you about your father is not what you remember about what they told you about your father. If you even confronted them that you told me this about mommy, you told me this about daddy, you told me this about our relatives, you told me this, I bet you they will deny it. They will tell you that is not what I told you. You just did not hear it well. That is not. Something will change. So you don't need to go through that exercise and start confirming it, even though I recommended it. I'm just giving you the easy way out here. Can you release those past stories you tell yourself? All right, can you release those past stories you tell yourself? You need to shift your story. You need to start telling yourself the story of how your life want to be. Rewrite your own story. Rewrite your own story. The reason why it's hard for people to let go of the stories they've told themselves in the past is the emotions they've attached to it. Letting go of those emotions it's like you will shatter your identity. Like, I've built my life on these untrue stories. Come on, all my life, 30, 40, 50, 15 years of my life, I've built it on this story. And you are telling me that this story is not true? Mike, you're far out. Mike, you're just talking trash. All right. It's okay. See, all these things I'm telling you, I'm not saying you should accept them, all right? I'm saying you should consider them. You should think about them and make your own decision. Yes, I can recommend one or two things for you to do, but I'm not saying that I know you, I know your life. I'm saying, can you think about what you think you know about yourself? Can you change the way you think? Like Dr. Windaya said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. When you change the stories you've been telling yourself about your past, your present will change. When you change the stories you've been telling yourself about your past, your present situation, your present circumstances, your present life will change. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for giving me your attention. I'm not taking it for granted, as I always say. Blessings to you always. Bye.